from about 32,000 people. Health officials have long called tobacco use the nation's leading cause of preventable disease and death. Despite the correlation between lung disease and respiratory issues to COVID-19, no studies have been released regarding cigarette smoking and the coronavirus. For iNews, I'm John Hunt.
Doc, you gotta give it to me straight.
All right.
Because I'm dying here. I mean, take a look at this letter from the IRS.
Oh, my.
This is killing me, Doc. I tell you, it's killing me.
Cheer up, my friend.
Huh?
The tax doctor is here. My diagnosis tells me that you're going to be just fine.
Really?
The tax doctor will not rest until we find you the best possible tax settlement.
Really, Doc?
Guaranteed.
If the IRS claims you owe them $10,000 or more in business or personal back taxes, call a tax doctor right now. We could save you up to 75% if you qualify. Guaranteed or you pay nothing. Call right now for free details.
Call 800-717-9853. That's 800-717-9853. Again, 800-717-9853. That's 800-717-9853.
Recently on Heart and Home, finding that balance between being cautious and not resorting to panic.
I had chills, a fever, sneezing a lot, sore throat as well. And so I went into an urgent care clinic and they gave me the, pick your brain test.
Well, we did that because our doctor said, no, you can't come. You have to go to an urgent care get tested. And you need to go to this one because they don't do rapid testing. They do the swab. They're more accurate. The rapid testing is not that accurate.
And if you've had the test, but if you haven't, I can tell you they take a large Q-tip. They stick it up your nostril to where it feels like it's picking your brain.
Ooh.
They have to leave it there for 15 seconds,
Ooh.
And then they pull it out. And then it takes a day or so to get the test results back. But they came back negative, which is just another example of, don't immediately freak out just because you have symptoms.
Heart and Home with JT and Leanne. Sundays at 4 on Smart Talk.
Welcome to Inside the Skev, and I'm your host, Aaron Maslyansky. And today we are here with Dick Coe and Robbie Markus from the Evanston Development Cooperative, and we're going to talk with them in just a moment. And, just want to send a message out to everybody in Skokie and Evanston and beyond. I hope you're all doing well. Right now, obviously, COVID numbers are up, and it is a trying time for us all. So this is, I hope, a small way for everyone to listen, connect with the community, and really stay involved in knowing what's going on. I was reading the Wall Street Journal this week. They have the mansion section. It's all about real estate. And one of the articles that they were talking about is how people really want to know more about their neighborhood. A lot of people have moved recently. They want to know what the vibe is and whatnot. So I hope this show helps to provide that. If you go to skevinson.com, you could listen to all the other episodes that we've had on here and really get to know the type of people and organizations that are true to this community. And I also want to share the message from Dave Rahia, who is the president of the Skokie North Shore Hospital. He posted on his page this week just about how there's a pledge that North Shores has right now where people will say that they will wear a mask, stay home if you're sick, quarantine if you need to. I mean, this is not an easy time, but we all need to do our part. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, North Shore. Thank you to all the medical professionals out there helping to save lives and get us through this. But today, I'm really thrilled to talk with Dick and to Robbie. They have really an incredible organization that helps with creating affordable housing solutions in Evanston, with creating a sustainable environment here. And they do it in a way that, may not have been thought about 5 years ago or so. I'll give you an example. I have a background in urban planning. I was an intern with the Village of Skokie and Morton Grove, and this is early 2000s, and I was looking at what are affordable housing options. And it was more about how do you build buildings that are affordable to get people in, to make it affordable, or put it into existing, new construction condo buildings. But what Robbie and Dick are doing is looking at accessory dwelling units, and we're going to get all into that. So thank you both so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Aaron. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. I am, really excited and curious to learn more about it. And I think it's really important for the community to know more about what's going on, how things have changed. So tell us, please, a little bit about the program and, how you've developed it.
Thanks, Aaron. My name is Dick, and I'll turn over to my co-founder, Robbie, in a minute. The program, the Evanston Development Cooperative, the bookends are the important words, Evanston and cooperative. We really felt like we needed a program or an organization that focused on Evanston. How do we think about housing, and how do we think about the people who live in it, but also the people who build it? So we started in mid-2018 thinking about how do we transition based on our backgrounds into an organization that takes action. So we really wanted to think about what you just said earlier. How do we take action, right? How do we do our part within the community? And that's how EDC was born. And I'll turn over to Robbie too.
So Robbie, how did you get involved?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Robbie Markus. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a co-founder and worker owner of EDC. I think kind of to answer your question, Aaron, as to how I got involved, when I was still, I sort of got into this world by researching the intersection of housing and race in the Evanston community. Doing an independent study, I think in 2017, with a professor at Northwestern named Dan Lewis, who ran the Center for Civic Engagement for a long time. And through that research, along with two other peers, we were really looking at the changing racial demographics of Evanston's Fifth Ward, which was redlined 80 years ago and is still one of the highest percentage Black areas of Evanston. And by looking at mortgage origination data, so who was purchasing mortgages based on their race and their income after the crash from 2008 to 2010, we were trying to get a picture of who had left and who had moved into that neighborhood after over 100 foreclosures in West Evanston. And through that research, we realized some data trends that indicated that not only were we losing Evanston's Black population based on the census data, but the rising trend was middle-class white homebuyers who had an income that may have been higher than that of the existing neighborhood. And for me as a researcher, I think people talk about the ivory tower of academia, where we're just thinking about the problems and not doing anything. And for me, that was a wake-up call that, especially the intersection of inequities in housing, were miles away from me, from where I was going to school. And while I was doing that research, I got connected with Dick, and through my thesis work, started thinking a lot about equity in decision-making as a mechanism to put power into the hands of residents and workers and ensure that the people who are most affected by the problem, in this case, people of color and Evanston residents, are the ones who make the decisions about what affordable housing is built and where it goes. And so often those decisions are made by outside developers who have no understanding of a community and don't really care what happens to the community. And I think thinking about all of that, that's how Dick and I arrived at the idea of a multi-stakeholder cooperative, which we're happy to chat a little bit more about as well.
No, absolutely. I want to talk about that and get into what the cooperative means. But you talk about how the stakeholders, the people who are living there, can make the decisions about affordable housing as opposed to an outside developer coming in and trying to really meet whatever the requirements are of the community. Mm-hmm. So tell us, what does it mean to have that say in it, and what does it mean to be able to help the existing residents make things more affordable? How do you go about doing that?
So that's a great question, Aaron. I think really it starts with looking at our current zoning code. Really, how we help existing homeowners is how do we be more flexible with what we as homeowners, residents can build, how we can use the structures on our property. So as we think about affordable housing, isn't so much about big developments, big projects, but how do we look at micro opportunities in our backyards, within our existing 2 flats or single family homes. So that really got our gears turning, and by mid 2018, as the city of Evanston legalized accessory dwelling units to be legally rented out to non-family members, that was our signal that the city's ready to embrace this type of housing. And I didn't get to mention earlier, my background was in chemistry and sustainability, and part of really affordable housing and a resilient community also comes from the utility costs, right? How can we be a better steward of the environment? How can we help our renters pay less on utility bills? And that transition was right when I met Robbie, to thinking about housing, but also thinking about more sensible, more modestly sized homes to be in the community. And that really is how we started thinking about affordable housing to help existing residents.
Yeah. And Dick, your background, I mean, you grew up in Taiwan and, came back here. Is having an outside perspective of seeing how housing is in Taiwan or in other places around the world, does that help you with shining new perspectives and ideas within this Evanston, local community?
It does. And I was born in Boston, moved to Taiwan when I was 6, but spent 12 years there, and coming back as an adult, starting college. I think, something Robbie and I talk about all the time, like in an organization or in a city, is when you see something, say something. Right? I think when having different life, lived and professional experiences, being able to see how other people and cultures have done things, that certainly allows us to question, right? Is this the best way to do it? Why have we done it this way? Do we have to keep doing it this way? Especially when we look at racial inequities, and let's really reimagine. And I think that perspective has helped. And one example I give all the time, is very common in Taiwan to have your family business downstairs and the family lives upstairs. That multi-purpose intergenerational living creates opportunities that is very different than our single family zoned districts, and not just in Evanston, but all across America. So I do appreciate having that experience.
Yeah, I'm sure that does help. And, we're going to have a short break in just a moment, but I also, before we get there, I want to ask, you talked about it's a co-op and it's different than, regular corporation. So what, shortly does that mean? And we'll get further into it later in the conversation.
Yeah. So we are primarily a worker cooperative. There are all different types of cooperatives, right? There are called producer cooperatives, worker cooperatives, consumer cooperatives. A lot of people, food co-op is one of the first things that comes to mind for a lot of people. That's a consumer co-op where the people that purchase produce are consumer members. REI is a big one too. So we are a worker cooperative. So that means that employee owners, as we say, collectively and democratically own and govern our cooperative business, and they fairly participate in the financial success of the cooperative and receive what are called patronage dividends on the basis of their labor. And
we're going to get back to that in just a few moments. And we're also going to talk more about what ADUs, accessory dwelling units, mean, and terminology that may have been used in the past, and how that's all coming together here now in 2020. But everyone, please stick around, and we will be right back with some more great conversation. Hi, I'm Aaron Masliansky, longtime Skokie and Evanston resident, host of Inside the Skev, and local real estate expert. As a community connector and realtor with Dreamtown Realty in downtown Evanston, I know firsthand what makes the Skev such an amazing place to live. When I'm helping my clients buy and sell properties inside of the Skev or out, I'm doing it with the best technology and support team behind me at Dreamtown.
During the pandemic, I've been able to help my clients seamlessly stay on track with their home search. From immersive 3D Matterport tours, professional photos, to virtual open houses, my clients can find their homes safely and comfortably, and even from their couch. When you're ready to make a move, know that I'll be here to help. You can always find out more about me at skevinston.com/real estate. Again, that's skevinston.com/real estate, or email me at aaron@skevinston.com.
Moving day is a happy day, but how can you be sure all of your stuff will get to the new place in the same condition they left the old place? Upgrade your experience to first-class moving and storage. You'll get a team of professionals who treat all of your belongings with care and have the right tools to make the job go smoothly. They even offer a full packing service. Upgrade to first-class moving and storage. They're local and independently owned. For more info, visit the website at firstclassmovers.com. That's the number one, stclassmovers.com.
Finally, a bed that senses snoring and automatically responds. Introducing the new Ergo Smart Base from Tempur-Pedic. Our first system that detects snoring, then automatically adjusts by raising the bed. This Black Friday, save up to $500 on adjustable mattress sets during the Tempur-Pedic Smart Sleep event. Get your best sleep. All night, every night. Learn more at TempurPedic.com.
What can help you take advantage of today's low mortgage rates and save money? Rocket can. You could save hundreds of dollars every month by refinancing with Rocket Mortgage at today's near historic low rates. If your current rate is over 4%, you could lower your payment by over $150 a month, saving thousands in interest every year. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Savings are based on Quicken Loans, internal data. Points and fees may apply. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Reading, writing, and math are a struggle for a lot of students. At BrainLinks, we know those skills are what paves the way to independence and success. Our specialists will help your child develop the habits they need to make sure they thrive not only in class, but out in the world in general. And of course, for everyone's safety, our lessons are done completely online. For more information on our team members and to schedule your initial consultation, visit BrainLinksAcademics.com. That's BrainLinksAcademics.com.
Mortgage rates have reached record lows recently. If you see homeownership in your future, the future is now. Think of Beth Lewis at Cross Country Mortgage as your personal mortgage shopper. She'll sort through racks and racks of home financing options until she finds exactly the right style and fit for you. She'll get you pre-approved to give you an advantage over other buyers, and she'll close your loan quickly with a highly efficient process driven by advanced mortgage technology. So far in 2020, Beth has come through for over 680 individuals and families who needed home financing. Beth will be here for you too, because helping people get mortgages is what she does best. Visit BethLewisTeam.com to get started. That's BethLewisteam.com. Or call 847-274-9745. That's 847-274-9745. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029, www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing opportunity. Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
You're listening to Smart Talk
on AM 1590, 95.9 FM, the Smart Talk app, and WCGORadio.com.
Back to Inside the Skev, everyone. This is Aaron Masliansky. I'm here with Dick Coe and Robbie Markus from the Evanston Development Cooperative. And I hope you're enjoying listening to this on the radio, or if you're on Facebook or on YouTube. We are everywhere right now. So if you want to watch the show, you can. If you want to listen live on the radio or listen to the podcast when it comes out tomorrow, you might be listening to it there, anywhere where you can find Inside the Skev. But appreciate you listening. But before we went to the break, we were talking about what a cooperative means, and we were talking about accessory dwelling units. And I really want to get onto the topic of accessory dwelling units and what that means. And, sometimes there are, people think of it as a coach house, and they might be the same thing. But really, we spoke the other day and we were talking about what does it mean? What is the difference between coach house and accessory dwelling unit? So, Dick, if you can tell us what is the difference of why people call it ADUs or accessory dwelling units now?
Yeah, ADUs, accessory dwelling units, it's a nationwide term that many cities have used. it's subordinate to the principal structure. The accessory part is a key word, meaning it's a housing unit that is attached, is one way to think of it, within the single family or two flat, where another independent unit can be entered, or a housing unit with kitchen and bathroom, completely independently habitable. There's also the detached ADU, which is what you mentioned. Many of us have called coach houses or granny flats in the past, but ADUs is a broader term that says a independently habitable housing unit that can be on any residential property.
Yeah. And, this year has been obviously a year of inspection of everything that we do in our society, whether it be through health or race or whatnot. And being in the real estate industry, there was a lot of pushback at some point on using the term master bedroom, and here we're coach house. And it all ties back to a history in the United States of slavery. And I think it's important that we be mindful of the terms that we use here, and, making sure that, we kind of stop using the same things that we've been saying and putting people into, it's not even conscious that when I go and show a property to somebody and I say, oh, this is the master bedroom, this is the master bathroom, I have in zero way thinking about, slavery, but it can be from that. I never even heard that before this year, but when you stop to think about it, it's important to stop to think about it and to really be mindful of everything that we do. Now, with having these accessory dwelling units and making it more affordable for people to stay within the community, how much more, income potential are we unlocking by having these zoning changes take place? I mean, Robbie, what has your research shown you of what unlocking this potential can do for the community?
Sure. And so just so listeners can sort of understand what you're saying regarding the implications of the language behind coach house, which I think is a very important point that you just made, and just kind of clarifying that language in the terms we use, I think is something I want to note. Coach house, we've heard, refers to times when the owner of the primary home was perhaps a very wealthy white homeowner, and the coach house sort of operated as a servant's quarters. And so then, as you're saying, Aaron, the term coach house is hierarchical and it certainly has racist connotations. And so that is why we've moved to the term accessory dwelling unit. And so adding on that and talking about, as you said, the opportunities across the Evanston community and the different types of housing structures that are allowed. I think what's exciting is this past September, Evanston City Council unanimously voted to change its zoning code to allow for both, as Dick was saying, interior or attached accessory dwelling units. So lower level basement conversions, attic conversions, bumping out your main home to add an independent housing unit, and more flexibility regarding detached accessory dwelling units, standalone properties behind single family or two flat. And in addition to that, some of the opportunities that have started to emerge in the Evanston community under these new zoning changes are garage conversions if you add off-street parking next to that structure, and the garage conversion is up to building code standards, as well as ground level accessible living structures with off-street parking. It could be open air elsewhere on the property. And so those are some new housing and building options that perhaps didn't exist last year in Evanston.
Right. So some of the things that you are able to do with that is, let's say you live in the primary house, mm-hmm. and it's expensive to pay the mortgage, and you've got to pay your real estate taxes and everything else. If you have an accessory house in the back, you could rent that out and you could get some income that will help pay your expenses and theoretically lower your cost burden. Another thing is that if you have, let's say, senior parents, and they need a place where they can live on the ground level, and you want to be able to help them as an option instead of having them live inside your house, and so they could have their privacy, or as opposed to going to living in a independent living facility or assisted living facility, here you can create something on your own property and make it work in a way that maybe wasn't something that you thought was possible even before. So I imagine that's some of the things that you're working on. How many projects do you have going on right now? And where are they?
Great, thanks, Aaron. And absolutely, you mentioned the flexibility. I want to add to that, which will go into our projects, is you can make a decision and you can change in a few years or even a few months, right? The flexibility of renting it out, using it for a loved one, and downsizing into a years later, or inviting an adult child to come home. All those things can be used in that accessory dwelling unit, in that backyard home. So right now we're working on 5 ADU projects. One is an internal basement lower level conversion for our detached backyard homes. That one is a retired homeowner who will downsize into the studio ADU to rent out the 3-bedroom 2-flat unit just for extra income to stay in the community. One is going to be a 2-bedroom ADU for them to be used as a home office during the pandemic, but also thinking longer term that his parents could downsize into and move into Evanston. So yeah, we're seeing all kinds of use cases come up with our homeowners. And it's truly an innovation, right? To be able to unlock that potential in your backyard to create and capture that value. So we're excited to work with homeowners on any of those examples.
And you have a lot of people who are calling you who are thinking about moving to Evanston from Chicago and are looking at this because they're trying to figure out how to make it work. How many calls would you say you've taken over the course of 2020 from people who are thinking about doing that?
Yeah, so I would say in 2020, I've gotten probably 3 to 5 calls like that. Chicago homeowners, as we found EDC, we want to learn more about it. We know you've collaborated with the city of Evanston to update its zoning ordinance. We know that you understand the new zoning code the best, so that's why they call us. And we started in early 2019, and since then we've sat down and spoken with more than 120 homeowners, mostly Evanston residents, but 3 to 5 of those are, especially recently, are Chicagoans looking to move into Evanston.
Yeah. And Robbie, how do you actually help people? Are you doing all the construction? Are you getting all the zoning permitting? What work do you guys provide?
Sure. So as a worker co-op, we really function as the design builder. So from someone will reach out and say, the example you had, Aaron, was I'm trying to figure out a long-term solution for my aging parents. So someone will call us and say, hey, this is my property. I'm trying to think if this could work, especially if we can think about ground level accessible living for my aging parents. I don't know what I can build. So from there, we do a zoning analysis to figure out under zoning code what type of structure would be allowable on a property, looking at building lot coverage, looking at impervious surface coverage, looking at the residential zoning district. And from there on, if a homeowner is really ready to take a next step and sees the potential for the structure they can add in their backyard, we function as the designer, so the architect. We go back and forth to figure out that ideal floor plan and the layout of bedrooms and bathrooms and kitchen and whatnot. And then we also serve as the general contractor. So we really take the project from start to finish.
That's really helpful that you're able to do that and make it easy for people.
30 seconds, coming back from break.
Child develop the habits they need to make sure they thrive, not only in class, but out in the world in general. And of course, for everyone's safety, our lessons are done completely online. For more information on our team members and to schedule your initial consultation, visit brainlinksacademics.com. That's brainlinksacademics.com.
Mortgage rates have reached record lows recently. If you see homeownership in your future, the future is now. Think of Beth Lewis at Cross Country Mortgage as your personal mortgage shopper. She'll sort through racks and racks of home financing options until she finds exactly the right style and fit for you. She'll get you pre-approved to give you an advantage over other buyers, and she'll close your loan quickly with a highly efficient process driven by advanced mortgage technology. So far in 2020, Beth has come through for over 680 individuals and families who needed home financing. Beth will be here for you too, because helping people get mortgages is what she does best. Visit BethLewisTeam.com to get started. That's BethLewisTeam.com or call 847-274-9745. That's 847-274-9745. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029, www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing opportunity. Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
Chicago Smart Talk, AM 1590 and FM 95.9, the exclusive home for the Dave Ramsey Show in Chicago.
Welcome back to Inside the Skev, and this is Aaron Masliansky here with Dick Coe and Robbie Markus from the Evanston Development Cooperative. I think that something may have been cut off as we were talking, so I apologize if some of the conversation was missed. It is on Facebook and on YouTube, but want to talk about more about the things that we have going on here, what Dick and Robbie are working on, and you have a big project going on right now at in Evanston, and it's an affordable rental home. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So, and I think this project is of great importance because these types of partnerships that we want to form with public and private entities to really provide more deeply affordable housing is certainly where we want to go as a cooperative over time. And so I think we're really excited about this project. So with this opportunity, we partnered with both a nonprofit affordable housing developer known as HODC, Housing Opportunity Development Corporation is the name of their nonprofit, as well as the city of Evanston. And so the way this project worked was HODC, that nonprofit, owned a 2-flat property where the 2-flat structure was already there. They already owned the property and there was nothing in the backyard. And we teamed up with them and the city of Evanston to think creatively about how we could add a 2-bed affordable rental unit with financing assistance for the project from the city of Evanston to provide a 2-bedroom energy efficient rental home at, in affordable housing language, 60% of the area median income. And that determines the level of affordability. And I'm happy to break down a little bit more what that means, but it is an affordable rental project.
Yeah, no. So what that means, I guess, is when you're looking at what they set what the median income is for all the different counties. So if you look in Cook County, there's a median income. It might be different than Will. It might be different than, Kane County, whatever it may be, because of income levels. So, just knowing from working for a developer, and we had affordable housing that was a requirement within the project that we were building, it can be hard to find, people who can afford to buy something and still be within the income requirements. So I think that, rental, it makes a lot of sense, because somebody may not have the money for the down payment, but they can make rental payments. Now, you both partner a lot with the city of Evanston and, grant work and whatnot. Dick, I mean, what have you done with AARP?
Yeah, that's a great question, Aaron. Yeah, so we partnered with the city of Evanston with this community challenge grant that the city of Evanston received from AARP to produce a how-to ADU guide, as we called it. Like Robbie mentioned, we worked on quite a few zoning changes over the years, so we want to make sure that information is out in an accessible way to our homeowners. So through this grant program, we will produce webinars, digital materials that we will share, and also a website that we will develop just to get so that homeowners can understand what is available to them from a zoning perspective, from a how to design and build one to how to finance one. And what are just the example use cases? Because many people have ideas and they want to see and hear what other people have done within the same community. So this grant will allow us to do that, and your listeners will see many of this go out in the next few months.
I think it's really helpful. Just I live in Skevinston, hence Inside the Skev, and walking around, which is actually Skokie, and I walk around the neighborhood and I've seen people put up the little huts for offices right now, and I can only imagine how many people are thinking about, well, it'd be great to have a little space outside, and then there's also the affordable housing option or things to be able to rent out. So I think that this is going to be something that people are really going to be considering, and everybody really is using every piece of their property. So it's great that you have this how-to guide that you're helping put together. And I imagine that there's collaboration that you have with other organizations to learn, because in many ways, this is all new again, because of the zoning being allowed. And it's not something that everybody knows how to work on it. But yesterday you were part of the Chicagoland Regional Worker Cooperative convening. So Robbie, what was that like? And, tell us more about the event and, how did it take place and whatnot?
Yeah. So it was a blast. It was an event EDC had been playing an organizing role in for a few months at this point. And yeah, I think coming back to that term solidarity economy I used before, coming back to cooperative, really this is EDC's work to think about what it means to transition our society towards an economy that values human well-being over gross profit, and be self-sufficient and be sustainable autonomously while caring for fundamental human needs. And I think that's maybe not how capitalism has always functioned. And so the purpose of this event was, with an explicit focus on Black and POC, to think about it, to sort of bring in worker cooperative thought leaders and successful worker cooperatives, really from across the US, to run workshop sessions on the different skills that are valuable to emerging worker cooperatives. So we had breakout sessions like democratic decision making and developing a culture of collective ownership and cooperative accounting and market industry analysis, which I got the chance to co-facilitate yesterday. And I think, it was really inspiring to see, especially the number of people in Chicago. We had, I think, just around 100 people on the opening plenary at 9 a.m. listening in to just learn more about the cooperative ecosystem and think about how it can sort of pick up some steam in Chicago.
It's exciting. It's a new way of thinking about things and, how people can do it. And I think that we're going to continue to need to innovate as there might be, less funds that are available, or people are just going to be reinventing themselves. So being a part of a cooperative for housing can be very, very interesting. And, I think that, you both have been working very hard on getting everything going here with Evanston. And, now that you have the accessory dwelling unit code that's passed with the Evanston City Council, are there other programs that you're working on and policies that you're trying to focus attention on in order to continue your mission?
Right. I think one policy we've recently started to get dialed into, again, coming back to that intersection of equity and affordability in our zoning code, where Dick started this discussion. I think a lot of the goal there is how do we think about allowing different housing types in our low density residential zoning districts. So zoning districts that have traditionally only allowed maybe single family, which can artificially inflate the cost of land and perpetuate segregation. And so what one policy we've started to think about on that front is what's called a micro dwelling unit ordinance. Aaron, as a realtor, I feel like you might think it's pretty interesting.
Yes, this whole discussion is very interesting to me. It changes the ball game. I want people to realize that it changes the ball game. But go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah. So the idea is that it would allow buildings, homes of up to 500 square foot in footprint. So you could have multiple levels. So it could be first floor and second floor. So 1,000 square foot total livable square footage, but the footprint can't be over 500 square feet. And it would be allowed on any property. And so the thinking there is that there are lots which are under the minimum lot coverage requirements in Evanston that are currently sitting vacant because you can't build on them. And so thinking about underutilized resources, our natural infrastructure of land, the thinking that I think city staff has behind this amendment is that this micro dwelling unit ordinance, especially because a number of these lots are city owned, could be a real opportunity to utilize that land for affordable housing.
It can, because it opens up, we don't have green fields here like you would, let's say, like in a far out suburb. We have to reimagine it. And not everybody, I think, would agree with every type of policy from the city. There's definitely many initiatives that are taking place to try to right the wrongs of the past. But you have to give credit for people trying to right the wrongs from the past and acknowledge the wrongs from the past, because Evanston has been such a segregated community. You could just see so many different things that have taken place over the years that I think that what you guys are doing and others like you, it can be, very instrumental in making it a better community.
Absolutely, Aaron. And one quote I really love is, do the best you can until you know better. When you know better, do better. As we look at zoning code, another thing that you mentioned that we're focusing on is how do we no longer take the one-size-fits-all approach to zoning, and even within the zoning code from impervious surface. Why does a zone R3 lot this close to the lake has to be the same as another piece of property just zoned R3? When we think about leveraging technology and mapping data, can we do better? And really then letting homeowners take advantage of these improvements to our zoning code that are more equitable and certainly more sustainable.
Absolutely. I think that it is a great way to go about it. And we're going to talk more about it just after we come up after the break. Everyone stick around. Thanks so much.
I'm Aaron Masliansky, longtime Skokie and Evanston resident, host of Inside the Skev, and local real estate expert. As a community connector and realtor with Dreamtown Realty in downtown Evanston, I know firsthand what makes the Skev such an amazing place to live. When I'm helping my clients buy and sell properties inside of the Skev or out, I'm doing it with the best technology and support team behind me at Dreamtown. During the pandemic, I've been able to help my clients seamlessly stay on track with their home search. From immersive 3D Matterport tours, professional photos, to virtual open houses, my clients can find their homes safely and comfortably, and even from their couch. When you're ready to make a move, know that I'll be here to help. You can always find out more about me at skevinston.com/real estate. Again, that's skevinston.com/real estate, or email me at aaron@skevinston.com.
Reading, writing, and math are a struggle for a lot of students. At BrainLinks, we know those skills are what paves the way to independence and success. Our specialist will help your child develop the habits they need to make sure they thrive not only in class, but out in the world in general. And of course, for everyone's safety, our lessons are done completely online. For more information on our team members and to schedule your initial consultation, visit brainlinksacademics.com. That's brainlinksacademics.com.
Moving day is a happy day, but how can you be sure all of your stuff will get to the new place in the same condition they left the old place? Upgrade your experience to First Class Moving and Storage. You'll get a team of professionals who treat all of your belongings with care and have the right tools to make the job go smoothly. They even offer a full packing service. Upgrade to First Class Moving and Storage. They're local and independently owned. For more info, visit the website at firstclassmovers.com. That's the number one, stclassmovers.com.
Hi, this is Lou Manfredini. This House Smarts Home Improvement Minute is brought to you by my friends at Ace Hardware. A stripped screw can turn a 10-minute fix into a 2-hour nightmare. One of the best investments a DIYer can make is a screw extraction kit. Comes with 3 different size bits and costs about $20. One side of the extractor bit reams a hole into the screw, and the other side has reverse threads that dig into the screw as you turn it out. For more information, go to housesmartsradio.com. And now this.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. This Thanksgiving, think outside the oven and get thanks grilling with Ace. Get a new grill and choose from top brands like Traeger, Weber, and Big Green Egg to add even more flavor to your Thanksgiving turkey, side dishes, and desserts. Plus, right now, get free assembly and delivery on all grills and accessories $3.99 and up. For the best help on the best grills, stop by your local Ace and get thanks grilling. Ace Rewards members only through December 24th. See participating stores for scheduling or exclusions.
Mortgage rates have reached record lows recently. If you see homeownership in your future, the future is now. Think of Beth Lewis at Cross Country Mortgage as your personal mortgage shopper. She'll sort through racks and racks of home financing options until she finds exactly the right style and fit for you. She'll get you pre-approved to give you an advantage over other buyers, and she'll close your loan quickly with a highly efficient process driven by advanced mortgage technology. So far in 2020, Beth has come through for over 680 individuals and families who needed home financing. Beth will be here for you too, because helping people get mortgages is what she does best. Visit BethLewisTeam.com to get started. That's BethLewisTeam.com or call 847-274-9745. That's 847-274-9745. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029, www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing opportunity. Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
Tune in Sunday night, 8 p.m. It's Steve Levin, the Dice Man. Roll the dice, where you don't know what the heck we're going to be talking about, but you be sure to listen, learn, and laugh. Ow!
Welcome back, everyone. This is Aaron from Inside the Skev, and we are back here talking with Dick Coe and Robbie Markus from the Evanston Development Cooperative. And before we continue talking about it, I just want to give a thank you to Johnny Eimerman, who put us in touch originally. He is an incredible person. If you search him on YouTube, he has an organization called Close Talk, where he basically creates T-shirts for nonprofits to help them fundraise. And he has an organization called Eimerman Angels. It's about pure cancer support. Truly an amazing person. And I was put in touch with him through Shalom Klein. Get down to business, Shalom Klein over here. And he's got his own radio show and podcast. He's an incredible person. So wanted to just say thank you to both of them. So I want to just make sure everyone knows, if you are interested in, creating an accessory dwelling unit in your property, or you are a realtor listening to this, or whatever it may be, how do we go about informing the consumers? How do we get people to contact you?
Great. Thank you, Aaron. And I think the best way to get in touch with us is to like us on Facebook. If you search for Evanston Development Cooperative, we're there, and also our website at evanston.coop, evanston.coop. You can sign up for our newsletter there. You can see our upcoming events, press releases, and on there you can also directly email us. Robbie and I are very responsive on email, and we're here to be a resource to Evanston residents and outside of Evanston. We've worked with other municipalities, because we really see this as an innovation that homeowners really need to know about.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys, if you live in another municipality outside of Evanston, will you speak with the municipality to educate them about what you're doing here and how it can help?
Absolutely. I think one of the 7 principles of cooperatives is education, training, and information, Aaron. And so to the extent that any city staff from a nearby municipal government wants to learn what Evanston has done around accessory dwelling units, we're always happy to find the time to offload those experiences. We had a great conversation with Northbrook city staff maybe this past summer. And based on a Tribune article I saw about a month ago, it looks like their trustees are making some inroads in terms of allowing for these types of housing units in their zoning code. And I think thinking about how other suburbs can address the high cost of housing creatively, we're happy to chat with other municipal governments about how they could think about implementing similar strategies while acknowledging the specific sort of market nuances or community nuances that every community is different.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Every community is different, and there's ways to address things. And, let's say in a suburb that's got tons of land as opposed to a more built-in community like Evanston. Now, if somebody wants to join the cooperative, can they?
Yes, absolutely. And we would welcome just their reaching out. So as a multi-stakeholder cooperative, we have worker owners, employee owners. So if you have a background in the construction trades or architecture and just want to think through how you can get involved with EDC's work moving forward, especially if you are an Evanston resident thinking about being a local worker owner, we'd love to start that conversation with you. And also if you're a residents are members of our cooperative, if you care about the values of climate action, racial equity, affordable housing, please reach out to see how you can provide sort of your lived and professional experiences to the cooperative. We'd love to chat.
I love it. There's so many different organizations that I've had on the show that are all working towards, just bringing equity and making a better community throughout the area. And it's like we're a little beacon of hope through for the Chicagoland area and beyond. It's a very cool place to be and to learn about this. What do you envision in a couple of years? How many projects do you hope to have completed?
Yeah, our goal for 2021 is really looking at somewhere between 5 and 10 ADUs, and beyond that, we will organically grow based on demand. And we're seeing lots of interesting opportunities for affordable ADUs and helping homeowners provide housing for loved ones. Yeah, so I think 10 by the end of next year is our goal, and we will want to continue to see that growth. And yeah, and ADUs aren't the only type of housing that we want to build. We really see that as a way for us to enter the construction market, if you want to call it that, but really from there to work with our residents, to innovate, to think about, and as we grow, how do we have the maximum impact in providing sensible housing, affordable housing for our working families and intergenerational living. We are all collectively learning so much during this pandemic. What will we reimagine coming out of it, and how can EDC be a part of that movement through its workforce, through its housing advocacy work?
Well, I love it. I hope that you guys just continue to do so. I will do my best to spread the word about what you're doing and help the residents, whether existing or new residents to the area, take advantage of the work that you're doing. But again, just to remind everyone, the website again that people can go to?
Evanston.coop.
Evanston.coop. Well, I thank you for coming on. Before we wrap up, I just want to, remind everybody that if this is an episode that you've listened to and you find it interesting and it resonates with you or somebody else, please share it. I think that there's a lot of great conversations that you can find that I've had, with people at skevinston.com. You could find it on any podcast app. It's on the website, skevinston.com there too. But there's really some incredible people. Next week, I'm going to be having on a filmmaker. Her name is Mei Chow, and she was an advertising executive for many years and then became a filmmaker. She started with a movie a few years ago called Spilled Water, all about women in China. And then she just is releasing a film called Hayden and Her Families. And there's going to be a Q&A next Sunday at 4:00. But before that, I'll be interviewing her on the show. So look her up, try to watch the film before. It's really, really interesting. And it's an amazing story about families and adoption and all different, children of different abilities. And it really makes you appreciate everything that you have, and especially right after Thanksgiving. And everyone should please listen for the next show, the Hannah and Fred show, which is going to be coming up right after right after this show. But again, just want to bring it back to Dick and Robbie. I love what you're doing. I think that, to really hit home, the projects that you are completing and the way that you're making changes within the city makes things more affordable, more equitable, better for the current residents, better for people who are coming here, and just starts to continue to open up the mind and ideas of how we can continue to reevaluate our community, our homes, our lives, and just really make things great. So thank you both for coming on the show today.
Thanks for your time, and I hope everyone stays healthy and well and wears a mask.
Please do so.
Yes. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hi, this is Lou Manfredini. This House Smarts Home Improvement Minute is brought to you by my friends at